Man, this was crazy. I didn't expect this to out the way it did. Yeah. Also, I didn't realize I was watching the series, but nonetheless, yep, folks, let's get into my review of the series Hellbound. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel today for another review. Today we're going to be reviewing the series Hellbound, which made its world premiere at Toronto International Film Festival TIFF 2021, along with two other film festivals. And the reason I know this is because of course I'm covering TIFF this year, but this is a Netflix series. And number one, I didn't realize this was a series. When I looked at the description, I thought it was just a long movie. It's, the runtime is 2 hours and 30 minutes. I was like, let's see. And I'm like, I really love South Korean cinema, so like that was the draw for me. But come to find out, it's a series, so I watched 4 to 5 episodes, whatever it may be. And then I, at the end, the Netflix, it says Netflix series, that logo pops up. So I'm like, Netflix. So, I went to the Netflix page and looked it up a little bit, and I was like, oh, so this is, it's going to be screening at a few film festivals, and TIFF being one. So that's the background information about this. I don't know exactly when this is going to be releasing, but man, this was crazy. This was crazy. And some people may have heard of this because it is based off of a webtoon series, so there's already a little bit of a fan base and buzz behind this. But this was crazy. This was absolutely crazy. And before I forget my thoughts, because I didn't even write any notes for this, because I just remember all of the craziness that happened, the first thing I got to say is, what is it with this series and women just being battered and just targeted? Like, I feel like in this entire series, it's one guy and a few women who just get it the worst. I mean, really, really bad. Like, an older lady gets a street beating with bats and pipes, and it's just brutal. And I'm like, that's hard to digest. And then it happens to another woman twice. So it's just a lot of things going on. And while that's just the practical aspect of it, you got some supernatural stuff happening. So let me set the table for you here. In this city, everything's normal, but then one day somebody get maliciously attacked and their soul taken in front of everybody by these 3 dark Hulk like supernatural beings. Like they're basically the Hulk, but they're all black. They're huge, they're big, they're strong, and they're targeting this normal human, and they beat the living crap out of him. Like, I mean, ground and pound, and then they take his soul, Shang Tsung, and then he's just a corpse. And everybody's like, what the heck was that? And ultimately, because this is a really spiritual city, I think they're in Seoul, Korea, if I'm not mistaken, everybody looks at this as the wrath of God, which I don't know how they could ever think that these big Hulk creatures completely like brutalize this person is the doing of God, but we'll go with it. And so everybody is now just like very on high alert. You have the police and authorities trying to figure out the investigation as to why, how, and all of that sorts of things. And then you have this other guy who's like basically a prophet, like the second coming of Jesus. This guy has been warning people for years about the return of God, and he's been a person who has done some very holy and very very good humanitarian work. So everybody praises him. He is the being, he's the leader of a religious group, which that religious group is breeding a religious cult, because the religious cult is a group of these young people, not just young, but just all people. But then you have a subgroup of young people who are going around doing God's work, and like anybody who isn't for this prophet, they're going around and they're beating them up. And also like they're setting targets on certain people with either within authority or in the government, whatever it may be, or just bystanders. So you got a whole bunch of craziness going on. And meanwhile, you have this one person whose life is just normal until she gets a calling from one of the spiritual demons and says, hey, you're gonna die in 3 days. And so she tells everybody, like, I got this calling, and like they completely put this like on national television. Like everybody watches her get executed by this being. And so now that sends the whole city you know, everybody is pretty much scared. Like, you know, everybody now is trying to be as righteous as they can, because now they're like, oh, we're real believers of this now. So the reason why I wanted to add that is because you understand that that act of fear definitely turned everybody towards religion, which makes that prophet guy even more of a stronger figure than he already was. But so yeah, you have a detective trying to figure out why the prophet is who he is and what's really the secrets behind him. The lady who was executed. You have another person who's trying to unravel the secrets as well in regards to the religion and other secrets in regards to the prophet. So you got a bunch of different things going on here, and it's fun. It's crazy as hell, but it's fun. I enjoyed this a lot. I thought that the effects, especially the little demon people, they were pretty damn good. They were really menacing to me. And then when they were able to condemn people to hell, leaving them as a corpse, that was pretty good. I was enjoying that. And the brutality in this is something I wasn't expecting, and it was good, except for the older lady who got it. That was just really hard to watch, because it's like, who does that to elders, you know? And it just was just hard to digest. But again, it just showed you how these religious warriors, how they were like out here trying to like take God's matters into their own hand. And it's really weird that they feel like this is God's doing by sending demons out to completely beat people up and take their soul and send them to hell. I guess make it make sense, I guess. But overall, I enjoyed this, and I think once this releases for Netflix, I'm gonna check it out again. I did watch in the subtitles, just probably see what the English dub looks like and how does it feel, see if there's anything I kind of mixed within reading of the subtitles. But overall, it's a good adventure, good a good thriller, and I think a lot of people will check this out. So, but yeah, this is Hellbound. Check it out, folks, once it releases on Netflix. And if you're checking out Toronto International Film Festival, TIFF, let me know in the comments what your thoughts about this once you check it out. But as always, folks, stay tuned, because we got more reviews coming to you very soon. Thank you for watching.